making logs to lamps down here. Okay, so this guy right here, this big old mess of branches, this is a dead Manzanita. We can see there's really no color on it. Snaps very easy. And there goes the whole tree. So now we're gonna take this back to the barn. We got the tree propped up right there. So let's take a quick look at this. So down here, the base side, it's pretty rotted. I could cut it up, I could chop it up just to make it easier for storage purposes. And in reality, maybe 20% of this tree can be, no, not even 20%. I would say maybe like 8% of this is going to be able to be used for logs to lamps. Well, still have all my fingers, but fire pit had a little accident. So from that whole tree, I think this might be the only log that I might be able to use. Okay, so all of this here, firewood. If you happen to find yourself enjoying what you're watching, or if this is your first time seeing somebody pull a tree from out of the ground and attempt to turn it into lamps, feel free to, hit the subscribe button, likes, comments. I'm a small channel, and according to YouTube science, likes, comments, subscribes, all that stuff really helps out with the algorithm. So guys, help me find my algorithm, and if you could give a small channel a like, a comment, a subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. Okay guys, so what we got here is 3 different Manzanitas. So we have this one right here, which is raw. This guy has not been sanded down. We can see this reddish orange color, and then kind of the more dead, dark, dull side back here. So this guy I have already sanded down. I really like the texture on this guy. And then we could see right here where a branch was about to start growing. And then we've got this third one here. This one's pretty unique. I really like the wood color on this one. It's a lot lighter than a lot of the Manzanita that I've been working with. But my plan for this one is it has this spout right here. So I want the lamp to come out from this guy right here. Okay, so I'll be starting with this guy right here. Just since I haven't hit it yet, I'm just gonna get it matching with these guys. So I'm gonna hit it first with this 120 grit sandpaper. I usually sand for about 10-15 minutes. So I'm just gonna throw it on a time lapse. This thing's very loud and obnoxious. So we'll do a time lapse and some nice little music to go along with it. have this guy right here drilled. So we got the hole right here coming out the spout, and then we've also got the hole right here. So they are connected. I did, when I was drilling from the bottom, I popped out right there. We could see that hole. So what I did was I just drilled at an angle, and I connected the holes. So this guy has been drilled through right here. This guy's been drilled through. These two have not been drilled through. So what I'm gonna do real quick is drill through a hole. For these guys, it's just gonna go straight down, straight down. Straightforward for these guys since they don't have a spout. So guys, if this is your first time on the channel, I do more than just logs to lamps. I also do some barn DIY. I live in a Gold Rush era barn with my cat, Missy. It's an old 122-year-old barn. So what I'm getting at is if this is your first time here, stick around. Feel free to check out the other videos. Might be something that you like. If not, plenty of other stuff on YouTube to watch. And be on YouTube. Don't support like Netflix and all that. Support normal people rather than these celebrities. Okay guys, we got our 3 logs here. They've all been sanded down with 320 now. Nice and smooth. This guy was able to maintain his color pretty nicely. Hopefully the sun's hitting it so that you guys can see it. And then this third guy right here. I'm excited for this one. I like oddball lamps, funky lamps. So these guys are going to be kind of more straightforward for the most part. But this guy, I mean, just right off the bat, he's gonna be a little funky because we're gonna have a little light popping out right there. So for this, the next step would be adding in some wood putty, putting some wood finish on it, and then letting them sit for about 36 hours. Okay guys, so now comes the fun part. So what we've got here is a lamp and a log. So now it's time to combine the two. So first things first, what I'm gonna be doing here is demoing this lamp. So right here, it's got this weight which holds the base down, and then the wiring slips in right there. There's a nut holding everything in place. So we're just gonna have to loosen up that nut, get that removed, pull this out. And then on this top side here, we're gonna have to demo out this socket. And there we are. Okay. Here is the weight. This is probably, I'd say like 1.5 pounds. So we've got the base. We've got the base of the lamp. We've got this middle bulb piece. We have the stem or the neck. And then we have this rod that's in the middle. And then we have the lampshade holder. This piece right here is important. Okay, so if we push, that gives us the length there. So now, let me not drop this lamp. So now we've got the screws right there where we can see the wire is connected on, They've got the wire looped just in case if you try to pull anything, the loop right there will prevent the pull. Little safety feature. So we're just going to remove the wiring here. So we've got the wires coming out of the socket right there. So we're just going to pull them. Clean out of the socket. We're just going to remove all of this hardware. So I like to keep all of these little decor pieces just in case I want to, you know, add a little decor onto my log lamps. Washers are always good to have. Lampshade holder, this is very important. We got another washer here. We'll remove the stem. We've got a plastic cover for our threaded rod. Our bulbous piece. So we're not going to be using these. I'm just going to throw them off to the side. And the base. So to use the base or not to use the base, that is the question. So the decision is to go either base or baseless. So here's our log without the base, with the base. I kind of like it with the base, honestly. And then what I could do is just pre-drill some holes right in here, and then run some screws, which will help hold the log on there better. I think I'm gonna add the base. I usually, if I have a base, I'll use reclaimed wood. I have used, I've got a video called Frankenstein lamps where I was turning sconces and a chandelier into an assortment of different types of lamps. Multiple lamp parts, which is why I named them Frankenstein lamps. Those I use metal bases for. So I think I'm going to use a metal base for this one. Let me know what you guys think, if that's a mistake, if I should go baseless, or if you like the idea of with the base. Let me know. I'm going to go with the base. Hey, get down. All right, so we got a special treat for this video. Missy the inspector is here to judge the work. So, first things first. I'm going to need to mount. Yeah, so first things first, I'll need to get this guy mounted onto the base. Next, I will need to run the wires through the log, connect them to the socket. I'm going to add a little bit of wood glue and wood filler, wood putty inside this hole here, just to keep this nice and secure. Yep, first things first will be mounting the log onto the base. So something like that. Okay, and then Okay, so there's our light on the stand. So now we're gonna run our wire. All right, so we got our wire right there. I'm making logs to lamps down here. Which one of you ratted on me? So now we're gonna get this socket wired in. We got that wired in. Now we're just gonna slip this guy right on over. Okay guys, so I've gone and brought this lamp inside of the barn. I'm inside of the workshop now. And so let's take a quick look. So I've got some zip ties wrapped around the socket and this lamp holder right here. So I did that just so that while everything is drying, the wood putty, the wood glue, while that's all drying, I'll be allowed to play with lampshades while this guy dries, and it will keep the shaking and all that to a minimum. So just gonna temporarily leave those zip ties on there while we mess around with some lampshades. And so just to reveal our moment of truth, I do have a bulb in there. So let's throw this guy on. Let's see if it works. Moment of truth. 2 clicks. Sometimes it's 1 click. Okay, so this is a 2-click lamp. There we go. 1, 2. Let's get a lampshade. Lampshade's a little crooked. Okay guys, so we got our new log lamp right there. Nice rustic, kind of an antique lampshade on this guy. Some of the critiques I've been getting on these log lamps is to get lampshades that hide the hardware and make these look more natural. I'm trying on it. I'm not really disregarding those critiques, but you know, that is something I am keeping in mind when I do this. The thing with that is these lampshades, they're very particular, so I'm also I'm learning. That's all I can really say. It's a learning process. I'm keeping the advice in mind. This one, we got a nice metal base on it, lampshade, on-off switch on the lamp, not on the wire. So, hope you guys had a good time on this one. We got some logs from out of nature right there. We sanded them down, we did all the log prep, and then we wired one in to become a lamp. So we use different logs for each step of this process, but I just wanted to show the full process.
hope you guys enjoyed it. I had a good time making it. I always have fun making these videos. And if you haven't, subscribe, like, comment. I'm a small channel. YouTube science says that helps out small channels. So if you want to help out, some guy who lives in a barn, that's the way to do it. Thank you guys. Have a great day.